Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today the weather is quite nice. It's the end of February in Belgium and well, I was looking to the trees and I noticed that this field maple had a little pot problem. You see the pot is completely destroyed by the frost, and well, I intended to let the tree in this pot for another year at least, but I'm a little worried that if the pot comes apart completely, I would have big troubles in the growing season. So I intend to replant it in this green pot, which is a little smaller. It might be very suitable. So let's see what we can do. So the reason why I didn't want to transplant this pot is because, well, you see, when I wiggle it, you see that not all the soil is moving. It means that the tree has not filled the pot with roots, but, well, the circumstances are what they are, so I'm going to lift this, and you see, we have a nice root ball, but it is not completely filling the pot. There is a lot of soil left, but since we have this situation, let's just do something with it and start by getting off the moss, which I will reuse, and then I'm going to clean up the moss from the trunk base. So the moss is here, and then I'm going to get the moss from the trunk base in order to see the roots a little better. And well, of course, because I have to get the tree out of the pot, it's always a good idea to have a view at the roots and work on them while I have the opportunity. This tree worries me a little because there is a part here, and I'm a little bit afraid that this part of the trunk is dead. It has no green color under it, I noticed. So, well, yeah, it's something I will have to deal with in the future if it starts rotting. Well, then I'll have another feature, I would say. Because I think it is okay. Well, most of the people in Europe and America think, and Australia, think it's okay to have broadleaf trees with deadwood on it. It's just in the Japanese and Eastern culture that it is not accepted. And that's because the broadleaf tree is supposed to be a female tree, and females are supposed to be not harmed. The conifers are the samurai, and well, they are full of wounds and scars and stuff like that. So it's really a cultural thing, and you can choose what you want to do with it, of course. But if I walk in the woods, I see tons of trees, broadleaf trees with wounds, so I do not care about other meanings about that. I just want to make miniature trees, and well, so that's what I do. Okay, so the whole thing is now cleaned up at the base. Some moss parts I will keep here, and now it's time to rake the roots out gently, and maybe I'll reposition the camera 1 second, please. So, I hope the view is better for you now. This tree didn't grow a whole lot. Well, it grew well, but didn't fill the pot. So I'm just going to get all the soil out of my way and just comb so I can prune the tips. I'm not going to cut off too much. This is just well, it's not really an emergency repotting. There's no harm done here. Okay, let's clean this up and I'll be back in a second. So now I'm just doing a final raking out of the roots so that I'm sure that they are all sticking out in a radial pattern. And I'm removing a little more soil, but I'm going to leave the very base untouched. So this is just to show how you can do a very light repot without disturbing the roots too much, and well, doing something that is good for the tree. So the tree is supposed to get in this pot, so everything that comes further than this can go. And the same to this side. And of course I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in both directions. Like so. So this is the room that I have. And now I can trim just a centimeter more to be sure that all the roots are almost equal for the length. And that's it. So this is supposed to be the front of the tree here, this part. So well, let's take the pot and see what we have when we put it inside. Well, this looks okay, I think. It fits very nicely. And yeah, well, regarding the height, of course, I want to see these roots. So I will have to put 2 or 3 fingers of soil in it before I plant the tree. So let's take some soil. So for starters, I'm just going to use the big stuff. For the drainage, and then the smaller stuff. So I repositioned the camera just to give you the right angle, so we can all see if the tree is at the right height. And that's not bad. You can see the roots here, so I think that's okay. Yeah, so the tree is quite straight. So I think a little to this side is okay, but just a little. It's leaning a little backward, so that's not okay. So I'm going to add some more soil here in the back. And let's see what we have now. Well, that's better. Let's see from this direction. Yeah, I think this is good. So now it's just the usual, you know, adding some soil. This is again a mixture of pot ground and I think there's cocoa peat in it too, and lava rock, of course. And now it's just a question of working this in gently to avoid any air pockets, and this will take a few minutes, so I'll be right back. So these are the last details, and now of course, because you want to see the roots on your tree, you can always take a brush and clean this up a little. Just a regular paintbrush will do. You don't need to buy a sophisticated material for these things. Okay, and now about the moss. Just going to add some bits and pieces from the moss that I had, because it gives a nice little green color touch, which I like. And when you moss a tree, you can do it completely or just bits and pieces. And if you do bits and pieces, well, don't try to be too symmetrical, because it's going to look very artificial then. Maybe just a little piece here in the front and a little piece in the back, like so. This is a weed. Don't want to plant weeds. And we're going to finish this with some soil. And this is just, of course, to fill up the gaps between the moss. So little details, but hey, you make bonsai to make something nice to look at, so it's worth it. Okay, so of course now the tree needs a watering, and that's the next job, which of course I'm not going to film because it's ridiculous. Like so. Yeah, I think it's okay. I like the pot. Didn't know I would like it that much, but I think it's a nice little pot. Color is okay. Maybe this way you see it in the light, it's better. Yeah. So the tree is now dripping, and this is the first work for this new growing season. I give you a little 360. I hope the tree does well, of course. And well, that's it. So if you like this video, well, like, subscribe, send me flowers for my birthday, and write a song about me. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and see you next time.